All right, we are taking you live inside of State Farm Stadium, where a musical performance taking place on stage, warming up the crowd as we move forward with the Charlie Kirk Memorial Service that is set to get underway officially in a couple of hours. And young conservatives still grappling with the loss of political activist and influencer Charlie Kirk. And we've been showing this to you. Thousands are flocking to Arizona for the memorial today. Supporters looking to keep Kirk's spirit alive, going, and encourage opportunities for conversation across the aisle. And one of those young voters is Brilyn Hollyhand. He is a 19-year-old college freshman about to embark on a university tour titled One Conversation at a Time. It's sponsored by Turning Point USA, and the tour is an effort to keep Charlie Kirk's legacy alive and then continue advocating for political conversation among young students. He will travel to schools across the Southeast, including Florida, Mississippi, and South Carolina. And Brilyn Hollyhand is here now. He joins us live. He is the chair of the RNC's Youth Advisory Council and founder of the Gen Z newsletter, What's Up, America? What a great name for that. Good to see you, Brilyn. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Good to see you. Happy Sunday, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, you've said that you saw Charlie Kirk as a mentor. So I wanted to ask you what his legacy means to you, how it has influenced this tour and your mission moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Today is really hard. I'm grieving a close friend in the political arena and a mentor, but we feel more motivated than ever before to continue on his legacy. You know, you can kill a man, but you can't kill a movement. And the assassin that cowardly killed my friend last week attempted to shut our generation up. But Laura, if anything, he woke us up. And that is what this tour is about. We're going to continue Charlie's legacy of going to campuses, dark places, and having hard conversations. I'm partnering with Turning Point chapters all across the country. We'll be going to 10 of these campuses this semester because it's that important to continue on the legacy. It would be super easy in this moment to cower. It would be super easy in this moment to be silenced, but we cannot let that happen. And more than ever before, we have to make America talk again, Laura.
Yeah, and as we take a look at some of these live pictures out of Arizona, we've been watching the stadium fill up with the thousands and thousands, the tens of thousands of people that are expected today. And we're already hearing that people are going to be turned away because the stadium is going to be filled very soon. And then we've got President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance speaking at the memorial. What do you expect the messaging to be as we move into this?
You know, a lot of conversation will be paying tribute to Charlie's life and legacy and political activism, and as it should. He was by far the greatest political activist of our generation. He is the sole reason that my friend President Trump is sitting in the Oval Office this morning. But I think what we're seeing right now on your screen of this worship service, the outpouring of support that we've seen in revivals on college campuses, and even images I'm getting this morning of churches overflowing out into the streets and having to have, you know, secondary locations to meet. I think Charlie's lasting legacy will be exactly the way he wanted it to be, his faith. You know, Laura, politics is temporary, faith is eternal, and Charlie's lasting legacy will be converting believers to Christ. I have heard story after story after story of Christians on college campuses being able to mentor to other unbelievers that are now we can call brothers and sisters in Christ, because they realized that they had this God-shaped hole in their life, and that everybody wasn't talking about Charlie Kirk's relationship with Donald Trump, but we're all talking about Charlie Kirk's relationship with Jesus Christ. This revival is making Charlie smile up in heaven right now, and I know that that's exactly what he wants us to be talking about.
You know, you're going out on this tour. You're going to be doing something so similar to what Charlie Kirk has been doing for these last several years. I want to play you something that Charlie Kirk said about why he believed talking face-to-face is so incredibly important. Let's listen together.
When people stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When civilizations stop talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. What we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.
So Kirk seemed to be really a unique figure in being open to talking regularly to people on the other side. Do you think that other leaders in your party are losing sight of that mission? And as you move forward, I know that you'll be talking to people on the other side of the aisle as well, bringing in all voices. Tell us about that.
Laura, the reason that we're seeing this crisis in America today, a crisis of a lack of civil discourse, is because our generation was raised to believe that faith and politics were taboo topics. My generation was raised to say that you can't talk about politics or faith at the dinner table or out in public, therefore we don't know how to discuss it. My peers know how to dye their hair blue, get a nose ring, grab a bullhorn, and go protest on a college campus, but they don't know how to talk to their fellow Americans when they disagree on something politically. That's what Charlie's life goal was to prevent. Charlie wanted to go to these campuses and prevent a tragedy like what happened to him, to talk to each other. And if I can do anything with my small time on these campuses this next semester, we will be going to these 10 campuses to make sure that we heal the divide in this country by talking to each other. It sounds super simple, but we're not doing it. We have to make America talk again.
I wanted to ask you about this surge that we're seeing in Turning Point USA, seeing a surge in sign-up requests on college campuses since Kirk's passing. So what are you hearing from young conservatives? Is, the movement you say is taking shape, and a lot of people are saying now it's going to be stronger than ever. And we're talking about high numbers of people who are signing up.
My friend Charlie was my mentor, but now he's a martyr to our generation. And I think that it's really cool to see so many of my peers get off the sidelines. So many young people who previously said, I'm going to worry about politics when it worries about me, maybe when I get out of college, now say, oh, wait, it's important now. This is no longer just a fight of red versus blue. It's a fight of good versus evil. And I think that Charlie is so excited to see all of these campuses have chapters that previously would never even considered having a Turning Point chapter. This is his legacy. This will continue. And I absolutely, positively feel hope today in a moment of such grief and sadness, because Erica Kirk will bring Turning Point into the future to inspire the next generation.
Well, Brilyn Hollyhand, I hope that you will come back on our program and tell us how your mission is and how your tour is going. I'd love to have you back on the show. Thank you very much for joining us today. And we do have much